Hello and welcome to Everything To Guppy, the Binding of Isaac podcast that covers every item in the Binding of Isaac series of video games. My name is Gary Butterfield, and with me as always is the beautiful statue version of a character that's firmly in the middle of my Maniac Mansion tears, Will Hughes.
Hey Gary, thank you for that warm and charming intro. It's Item Sunday. Doop-a-doo, boo, 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 boo. Baby, I hear the blues are calling, toss salad and scrambled.
Item.
Maybe I seem a bit...
Item.
Well, maybe. But I got you...
Item.
But I don't know what to do with those toss
Item.
and scrambled.
Item.
They're calling again. Ba, ba, ba. Good night, see.
Item. Indeed it is. Who's you? Let's quickly rank the Maniac Mansion characters.
Bernard is first.
Okay, I'm actually with you there.
Then Wendy, then Michael.
Oh, can't follow you there. I think Wendy's song is horrible.
The song is bad, but she has my favorite ending.
I love that ending. I just can't listen to that song the whole time.
I get it. I absolutely get it. It's just anything to do with like getting the Meteor a publishing contract is the funniest fucking thing.
It is so funny. Yeah. That game is way funnier than it has a right to be. For I guess it has the right to be. That doesn't make any sense. Yeah. But
call the time cops. We've got to capture.
Gilbert.
Is that Gilbert and Schaefer? Who is who?
What's his name? Dave.
Dave Gilbert?
No.
Okay.
Ron Gilbert and Dave. It's the same guy who did Zach McCracken.
Yeah. Because of the chainsaw gag.
Yeah. I think instead of Wendy, I would put Dave there, and it's fully musical.
Yeah. Dave. Oh no, Dave Miller's the name of the guy. This is annoying. Ron Gilbert and Gary Winnick were the designers.
Gary Winnick.
You forgot a famous Gary.
I'm really surprised about that because I know that guy, and I've recorded a podcast about Zach McCracken. One of like two people who've done it. Then maybe I think I'll put Jeff near the bottom. He can't do very much.
He can't do anything. His song is fine.
It's a little repetitive.
Yeah.
And then Sid and Razor are a little bit above him for me. So, and then Wendy right in the middle of that stack for me, just because the music is bad, but I do think it's very funny.
Dave does have like the most amazing song.
That song is great. That's so good. That was my ringtone for a really long time.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful song. Wonderful soundtrack. My favorite NES soundtrack. I don't think it's necessarily the best, but I think it's cool that it accomplishes something. I think it's cool that it's diegetic, like the characters have CD players.
Yeah.
With them. I think it's very neat. So.
Yeah, I when I'm writing, I listen to a lot of NES soundtracks, and that's always a regular one to pop up. Me and
Derek, when he was here, we just watched a lot of like just dumb listicle YouTube, and we put on a lot of like the best NES music compilations, and we were both just like tired when we wake up. And he put it on, and we would just sit there, and then something that we like a good song come on, we'd be like, oh yeah. And then something we didn't care about or hadn't heard of would come on and be like,
is this the Magician soundtrack?
Yeah. The Magician's fucking weird and good.
That is
or
such
cool,
a weird fucking ambient. Like that's when I was doing my like NES backgrounds. That's one that I really wanted to do, like playing through games and taking like the gifts of them.
Mm-hmm.
But it's such like an obtuse game that I just could never bring myself to do it.
And you did Nightshade.
Like, I did do Nightshade. It is more obtuse than Nightshade.
Yeah, which is fucking crazy. You should do more of those, man. That was a great project.
They're just kind of time intensive.
Super time intensive. Like, no pressure. I understand that part, but I just want to let you know I really appreciate them. Yeah. I like them a lot.
And yet, never watch my streams.
I don't like watching streams. It's not you. It's the medium.
Yeah. By the way, everyone should try Inscription. You might not end up liking it. There's been a lot of talk about it in the Guppy chat lately because I've been talking it up, and just also because it's like in line with like the nerds in that chat. Inscription's really cool. It's the latest game from Dan Mullins, who did Pony Island and the Hex. Cole's been playing it too.
Yeah, I've been looking forward to trying it. I think it looks good.
I think you might hate it, but
I might not though. It's got deck building stuff, which I like.
I think the fact that it cares more about weird meta shit than it does about being a good card game.
I mean, time will tell, of course.
Yeah, of course.
We'll find out.
Gary, I'll confess I've never gotten this item. I haven't unlocked it. I'm lazy.
It's hard to unlock because it's impossible for me to lie to the listeners. We've been having some technical problems.
Gary, come on, man. man. You fucking come on, man. We're
It's
professionals.
It's not bad. I'm not nothing bad about it. I'm just saying that having this like rehearsed conversation about Golden Razor for the third time feels weird.
No, you just push past it. Sometimes you just gotta put the lie in your voice. God, you and Olivia, honest people.
I don't like lying. I did unlock this. It's real bad.
Yeah. To unlock this, you got to get 99 coins and then get back down to 0. So get them magic fingers going.
Yeah. And when you get it, you're rewarded with a active use item that looks like a golden razor. You get 5 coins, which is nice.
Yeah.
And when you use it, it takes 5 coins away from you and gives you 1.2 damage for the rest of the room.
This should almost certainly be for the floor, I feel like.
Yes. Even though then it would be very easy to break.
Sure.
Because, but that would be better than this. I'm never going to do this.
I guess the idea is that you get, we talk a lot how money doesn't have a good use fairly far down in the game. So you get to like Mega Satan or, Mother or whatever. And with the full thing, and you hit this, 11 times. And no, more than that. 50. That's 55. 19 times. And then you just kill everything.
Yes. I can understand I've been saving up to kill Delirium.
Yeah.
Kind of run that would make this make sense. Typically I just get it and it doesn't make any sense for me.
Yeah. Because you're old Gary, spend the money, Butterfield.
I do like spending the money. You cannot take it with you.
Oh, I just got an alarm on my phone. I'm sorry, Gary.
It's okay, buddy.
It came through on the recording, though. I can probably get rid of it, but now we're talking about it. I fucked this whole thing up, man.
I'm not trying to shed light on your shame. I think it's okay. It's okay.
Aren't you, though? What if I hadn't said something and then later it come up and you attacked me for not mentioning it?
I'm not in attack mode right now. I'm very vulnerable.
Okay. Well, sometimes when we're at our most vulnerable is when we're at our most attacky.
That's true. If I learned anything from rats.
Yeah. Or Heartbeat City.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of which, I was eating a Funyun while we're on break.
Good digression. Good. Can't wait to see how this go.
I think you're going to be pretty pleased. Since last time I had a Funyun, do they make them crunchier?
Gary, I've never had a Funyun, so.
Oh, well then you're the wrong person to ask.
You've
never had a Funyun?
I don't think so. I eat like rich people chips.
What kind of chip?
Oh, like a... Hey folks, Future Will here. Unfortunately, the answer to this scintillating question has been lost to the pits of memory. And also my Audacity setup just shitting the bed a lot this week. Please feel free to use the amazing power of imagination to pretend that you know what kind of chip I would have said. Ooh, you're right. Would I turn down a Funyun? Yeah. Yeah, I think so. I think it would make me feel poor to eat that.
Yeah. Well, maybe I just have a poor person's soul.
Yeah, I think maybe you were. Good thing you were born where you were born then. Yeah. Otherwise, you would have felt like very out of sorts.
If I wasn't raised poor, I would have felt very like, what's all this then? About all the opulence around me.
These are fish eggs, and I eat them with a little spoon.
You throw them away, and they come in a tiny little tin, like the fake Chaw beef jerky powder.
And they're named after the Raffi song, Baby Beluga?
Yeah, ridiculous. And Raffi, I've heard of Raffi instead of no music.
Yeah, instead of the silence of money accruing.
Yeah, or like the sound of what I'm used to as a poor person in my soul, like a broken washing machine.
And, Gary, a jug band.
Oh, yeah. That's all. That's big poor people music.
Being played by Emmett Otter himself.
Mm-hmm. Unless it's one of those Mumford or one of those Sons, then it's rich person music.
Are the Muppets poor, Gary?
Muppetford and Son? The Muppets are very poor. The plot of most of their movies are about that.
Okay.
Yeah, they do not have money. They, like a lot of times they go off to Hollywood or New York and like live in a tenement.
That's true. I feel like in the real world though, because everyone likes to pretend that the Muppets are real people when they're just fucking puppets that are being carried around by like weird looking humans usually. Yeah,
that's the thing is I think that if I were doing that, I'd have a really hard time talking to Kermit and not the theater major that's below Kermit.
Yeah, they're just fucking. I like a Muppet movie as much as anybody, but our societal willingness to indulge the idea that the Muppets are real is infuriating to me.
It's pretty fucked up.
It's the dumbest fucking thing in the world, Gary.
It's real. I agree. It's real fucking silly.
It's puppeteer erasure.
It is puppeteer erasure. Can you name one famous puppeteer?
Dave Gratz, the guy who
Can you name two?
Jeff Dunham.
Damn it.
Not to reignite my long-standing feud with Riff about whether ventriloquists are puppet shows.
Who's on what side of that and why?
That's left to the listener to imagine.
Because it's like, I can understand that there's two sides to that argument. It's very hard for me to conceive of the unlikelihood of two people caring about it and them being two people who are my friends.
But what if those two people were me and Riff, who are very similar people in a lot of ways?
And so I think you need to hang out more with Riff.
I'd like to.
Like, because you guys are actually very different.
But like in interests.
Yeah, you have a lot of overlap. But you and I have a lot of overlap and we're very different people as well.
Gary, I think we're practically peas in a pod, like Jenny and Forrest.
We're definitely peas in a pod, but it's a big pod.
Yeah, big stinky pod.
Big old stink pod.
Yeah, this is fiddly. Don't take it.
It turns money into a consumable, and I tend not to use, like in certain games, I'm real good at using my consumables. In Isaac, like less so. Just the idea of
I like Magic Fingers a lot.
Magic Fingers is pretty fun.
Gary, this is good. Come on, I've never used it. It's good though.
It's not good though. It's really annoying.
What is annoying about it? I genuinely reading this. It sounds okay. What are you mad about?
I don't want to spend my money that way.
Okay, but what else are you going to spend it on in the womb, dude?
Well, I don't keep this until the womb because I find a better active item.
Okay, but this is for the womb.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter because by then I've gotten exposed to 3 or 4 active items, and this is not the best one that I found.
You don't. So one that gives you for an entire boss fight like a cheap dose of like +5 damage.
By that point, I'm usually balling out of control where that's not the deciding factor.
Gary, I feel like this is some of your Binding of Isaac elitism. You're a real Kermit the Frog type. Because I think my point originally, before I got off on this, my deep anger at the way we treat the Muppets culturally, is that if Kermit was a real person, Kermit would be rich.
Yeah. He's always sipping that tea. You know?
He's practically British.
He's practically British. God, Kermit.
Fucking Kermit.
What a... I have tons of sympathy for Kermit since Miss Piggy's constantly trying to breed him. You know?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to get like, there's the famous the pig won't leave the frog alone, whatever, all that stuff.
The lizard. I do not like the pig.
Yeah, I don't want to get in like that fully meme territory. I don't know, Gary. I don't care for this fucking shared delusion. Like, oh, I need a little bit of childhood whimsy in my life. I'll pretend Kermit the Frog's real.
We're
Fuck
back on
off.
That. Why do you think of ventriloquist as a puppet show or no?
Yeah, absolutely. A ventriloquist is a puppet show. It's got
and Riff says it's not.
What?
Riff says it's not a puppet show?
I think there was some squares and rectangles shit going on.
Okay.
I did a Twitter poll. I can pull up the results of the Twitter poll because they're not definitive.
Can you reopen the poll so I can vote?
No, I can't do that. That's not how Twitter works.
Fuck. Damn it.
Hold on. Typing @plumberduck and then puppet. And I hope I don't find out.
You're gonna pull up a whole page full of results.
Yeah.
Yeah. I shall turn Plumber Duck into my puppet.
Here we go. Because I got some people like, okay, do ventriloquist acts count as puppet shows? 64% said yes, 27% said no, 9% said just want to see results. And that was off of 113 votes, Gary. This is how democracy works.
That's infuriating. It's clearly a puppet show.
Okay.
Like, God
okay,
damn
but the argument is if someone said to you, oh, you want to come to a puppet show? And it was a ventriloquist act, would you be a little mad?
Ooh. I certainly wouldn't be mad.
Okay. Would you be like, what?
I'd be a little surprised.
Okay.
I think a ventriloquist though is better. That's an upgrade. And it's more challenging than a puppet show.
You think a ventriloquist is better than a baseline puppet show?
I've seen some real bad puppet shows.
Gary just loves Jeff Dunham so much. He's so into Walter.
I find ventriloquism impressive.
Who's your favorite ventriloquist, Gary?
Jeff Dunham.
Okay. I really like Walter.
I love Walter, and I love that terrorist.
I love Peanut.
No, I don't. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know a lot of ventriloquists, but when I see it, it's very impressive to me. Did you have a phase when you were a kid?
No.
I tried to do it as a kid. I was like, cool, this is cool. I want to learn how to do this, and it's very difficult.
There's a stage magician inside you, Gary, desperate to get out.
There 100% is. Like, there's no joke about that. Like, that is desperately true. Like, a lot of the shittier vaudeville acts I have in my soul. Like, I just think it's cool. I don't have no notes.
All right, Gary, we are tempting the fates of my...
oh, yeah. We got to end the episode.
Yeah.
Patreon.com/Duckfeed.tv. And then also ratings, reviews on Apple Podcasts, Podcast Addict.
Yeah, like this one left on Apple Podcasts by Alexia Ashford. Uh-oh.
Oh.
I have dined on this rich podcast and do not sup. The concept of ennui granted O2 solid flesh and his normal friend trade a deep sadness back and forth via mediocre to enjoyable jokes for 15 minutes a day, 4 days a week. I have been raising my Patreon subscription by $0.01 each month since the show started to do my part in helping the Guppy listenership of I think like 20 people reach the Stop Guppy milestone.
Nice.
As a 5-star review. Thank you, Alexia Ashford. Please don't kill us.
Yeah, do not kill us, and do not turn into a really annoying boss fight.
Yeah, never played that one.
Oh, it's worse. It's one of the worst.
Okay, good.
And Podcast Aldia.
And Podcast Aldia, put that Resident Evil 4 VR on PSVR. Come on. Stop fucking me.
Yeah, stop fucking Will.
That's our new cat.
That's our new sign off. Stop fucking Will.
Hey, could you just stop fucking Will me, maybe, please?
Yeah, you're really fucking Will with this shit.
Stop fucking Will meat.
Yeah, stop sucking Will's heat.
Good night.
Good night.